And we are back on our last segment of Pewter Power. I'm Mike Deem, he's Joe Bell, and we are ready to go we talked about Carolina game a little bit. Now Joe's going to get into something that's not going to be a good thing, and we hope it doesn't affect any of the games at all.
And I talked about this last week, that I wanted to bring up the officials.
Right.
So I'm going to throw a quick slide up. Some of the things we see for this week specifically. Starting season with the replacement referees, we know that, the officials. Each crew will have an 8th official this first week so that they can be sure they have that extra set of eyes to do the things that need to happen, to check everything and make sure they're making the right calls. Good move on the NFL's part. No real end in sight for contract resolution at all.
So the amount of money that they spend on the extra official, could they just throw that into the regular officials, guys, and get the money and then be done with it?
That isn't enough.
For whatever. I mean, come on. I'm telling you right now, I'm a little upset because the NFL, with their shield logo that need to make sure that they're taking care of this, I think they need to do something with the officials.
I think they're on the wrong a little bit, but I also think I kind of believe where they want officials to be full-time officials. They want more full-time officials and less weekend warriors.
Then pay them more.
They're willing to. These people don't want to change out of their careers to be full-time officials. I understand that too. A lot of these guys are doctors or lawyers or, I mean, they're not just anybody. So they're not laborers. They're actual people that
have to be smart. Ed Hockley's a bodybuilder.
They all have a big profession. Most of them very, very well educated. And these rules are very difficult. It's not an easy thing to be an official or a referee.
Of course they are. All right.
So hopefully at some point it'll get fixed, but they've got a long way to go.
Well,
hopefully games will not change because of a bad call. And we saw quite a few in preseason.
I can guarantee you they will, because Las Vegas right now, who knows what they're doing, has already put odds on the officials making a mistake. And there's a betting line that's going on that's just out of this world. So
on that specific
thing, on NFL officiating. So if you want to go to Vegas and bet on the officials, which is never unheard of. You can bet on whether officials
how many bad calls are going to be made during the season.
Exactly what over and under. Over and unders.
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we already know. We saw a couple that were called face masks where they didn't even touch the face mask. 15-yard penalties. I mean, that can change an entire game.
Here's what's going to happen, Joe. Here's what's going to happen. At the end of the games, there'll be nothing called.
I believe that.
Because they don't want to make a mistake to affect the game, so they won't make the call. So the players are going to recognize that, and they're going to say, I'm going to go over there, I'm going to slam his head in the ground.
Yeah, there's going to be no pass interference, unless you jerk them to the ground and everybody goes, what?
There's no hand-holding Tom Brady rule. There's nothing on that, baby.
All right, I'm going to make a quick comment about fantasy football. I don't want to get too deep into it this week because they really haven't played yet. But those of you guys in fantasy football out there, remember, play the guys you picked. Don't try and change your team around unless it's somebody injured. If you picked them and you know they're the players you want, play them this week. See how things work out before you make a bunch of changes.
I agree. I agree with that.
You don't know anything until it's real football.
I want to make sure
can change.
That you said last week about Doug Martin, and I've been watching the fantasy lines and the fantasy people, and they're saying that Doug Martin is actually moving up in all the leagues. So,
especially now that he's been named the starter.
Exactly.
He is really moving up in the league. So if he's available, which he probably isn't in most leagues, grab him up.
Yeah, I would say so. Josh Freeman, they're still undecided on him. He's probably in the top 20 quarterbacks, but who knows. So Buccaneers, by the way, don't pick the defense, period.
Yeah, don't take Tampa's defense this season. Just not until later in the season you see how they do.
Wait.
This week I would take Chicago as the #1 defense.
Yeah, and 86 points last year, so you don't want to have 86 points against you with 718 yards.
Absolutely not.
All right,
bonehead of the week.
All right, you got him?
We got him.
Who is it?
You got a picture of him? Everybody know who that is?
That's Tanard Jackson.
That is Tanard Jackson of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, after he was released and traded,
he's not the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
To the Washington Redskins.
Yes, please say
Who's with the Washington Redskins now?
Raheem
Morris. So here we go. He has again tested positive for drugs.
Kidding me.
He is now indefinitely suspended.
Well, Schiano and Dominic knew.
They made people were like, oh my goodness, how can you let this guy go? He's one of the key safeties in your defense. Obviously, they knew something that everybody else didn't know. The Washington Redskins didn't.
Well, I think everybody knew, but everybody didn't want to know. Let's put it that way. We knew that he was a cancer. He was a bad dude, and pretty much he was a great player, but you got to get him off the team.
You know what I give Tampa Bay credit for? Okay, they removed him from the team. He's now gone. Brian Price, he was traded away. He's already been cut by Chicago.
Yep.
Before they even started the season. Kellen Winslow, traded to the Seattle Seahawks.
Seattle.
Cut. He is no longer with the Seattle Seahawks. He was cut. Did not make the 53-man roster. Now, Tampa didn't get a draft pick for him because it was conditional on playing week 1. But Brian Price, they did receive a 7th-round pick, and he is not playing football.
Wow. All right.
So I give them a lot of credit. They've done a lot of good things. Who's going to win?
That's what I was going to say. What's your score?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers find a way to win their first game of the season, 27-24.
I'm going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 21-17, squeaks by. Defense finally holds them to under 20 points.
We can only hope.
We'll see.
Please, God.
Cross your fingers. Hey, I want to thank Love Motorsports for sponsoring our show. As always, Chad and Bob down there. Go to see them if you need a brand new vehicle or any kind of vehicle.
Or an ATV. Motorsports.
Anything. All right, we're going to be in the press box this Sunday, so if you want to watch us on Facebook, and you can Twitter us at @FootballJoeBell and @MD Sports Machine.
Have a great Buccaneer week.